Hello guys, so continuing my autumn style series, today we're gonna talk about gamines. If you're new to my channel, I have a huge Kibbe body types playlist. I'm gonna leave the link down below. If you haven't seen my summer style laws version, I'm gonna leave the link down below. Please go and watch it because it's gonna be our basic layer. In this video, we're gonna talk more about layering and different pieces that we'll layer with. What is the biggest problem for gamines in autumn? If it's cold, they are cold. I'm not joking. They are quite smallish, straight and quite delicate and sharp in bones. So for them, everything that is too big, oversized and long looks alien, looks like it's a clothes of a different person. And it's much warmer when we're wearing bigger pieces and fluffier pieces rather than something small and tiny and close to the body. So that is the only problem that gamines have sometimes. So if I was a designer, I would definitely create certain pieces of clothes specifically for autumn, for somebody like gamines, for example, somebody like soft gamine or flamboyant gamine, or somebody like romantic, theatrical romantic, or soft natural, some women for whom it's a little bit harder to layer. And by the way, Kibbe doesn't use pure gamines anymore. He says everybody whether tends to a more flamboyant version or a softer version. I'm still gonna use gamines because there are many people consider themselves pure gamines, and those recommendations that were made specifically for them in Metamorphosis book, they work for them perfectly. I know they exist, but it's just rarer. Most of people really tend to a softer version or more flamboyant version. As far as gamines are a combination of opposites, they have their yang part and yin part. And their yin part is in their youthfulness, in their smallishness, and in delicacy of their bones. Their yang part is in straight and angular frame. They're small, but they're frame dominant. So same thing works for them when they're combining outfit. So their clothes should be yang in shape, meaning sculpted, angular, geometric, straight lines, narrow, and sleek. That is the yang part. They express the yang in their body in the shapes of clothes that they're wearing, kind of repeating your bone structure. And how you express your yin is your height. You express it in color blocks. Your youthfulness, you express it in brighter trims, sometimes brighter colors, different contrast, color blocks, interesting patterns maybe if you want to go for it, interesting accessories. So that is your yin part. You do look better when everything is on a sleeker side, on more narrow side and slightly shortened and not elongated. So everything opposite to that, something very unconstructed, elongated, shapeless and wide, will drag you down and make you look tired. It's in the best case scenario. In the worst, it just will feel like it's clothes of other person and it's just not for your size, even if you buy something of your particular size. So if we can avoid it, if you're not too cold, we can work on that. If you are cold, forget about these rules, just wear whatever you want. Just remember, you're always beautiful. And by the way, these rules doesn't mean that you can't break them. I know many gamine women who are breaking those rules, but they know exactly what they're going for. They're so much aware about their shape, they're so much aware about their body, so they know how to break those rules, so it doesn't look slouchy, it looks funky. So after this video, when you know the rules, you will be able to break them, but with this knowledge. Let's go to sweaters. Now, for gamines, sculpted, short sweaters are best. Sweaters that keep its shape. Sweaters with shoulders, not dropped shoulders preferably. If you have dropped shoulder, you just keep in mind that it slightly softens your shape, so we need sculpture, so better if it's cropped in this case. If it's cropped, that it will give you more structure back to this sweater. I would say mostly for gamines, out of all types, it's very important not to have bad sleeves. Probably you have narrow rib cage, I can predict. So especially for your type, it's very important to have fitted shoulders, fitted sleeves. If you still have bigger sleeves, it's okay. Make sure it's a bit more fitted here. Or even you can have cropped sleeves. You can have cropped sweater here. That would look stunning. Best if it keeps its shape, best if it's not super thin and hanging on you and drapes easily. That will create that slightly slouchy effect on you. If it's a rib knit, that's great on you. If it's sleek to the body, it can also be as a basic layer, and on top you can wear a blazer or a cardigan also. I would not recommend oversized sweaters, long sweaters, sweaters that are unconstructed with bad sleeves, of course, with dropped shoulders, especially with huge neckline. That is not for gamines. Even if you go for slightly longer sweater or something softer, make sure your collar is high. This will balance the proportions. It will not drag you down and make you too slouchy looking. So everything has to be a little bit more sharper, a bit more compact. It's interesting thing that for gamines, Kibbe says in his book, poor boy styles is great. And I checked on the internet and this is what I found. Basically it says rough knitted, rib knit, or just regular knit sweater, quite slim with high neckline. Very simple, quite small and close to the body. Gamines have to be a little bit more careful with bulkiness and with extremely thick knit. Their facial features normally are too delicate for that. It's just too rough for them. Color blocks, contrasted trim, all that looks amazing and freshens their look. So even if your sweater is slightly oversized and quite bulky looking, if this sweater has interesting pattern, contrasted pattern or contrasted trim, especially on the neckline, around your wrists or around the waist, that can freshen your look and make it look much more sculpted and all together. Stripy sweaters, all kinds, would look great, except for maybe with huge stripes, but even then you should check. Sometimes huge stripes look actually like color blocks on gamines. But with classic stripes, you can never go wrong. Something like this would be perfect for you. I'm gonna leave the link down below. This is my favorite, I always wear it. This actually will go for every body type. Now let's go to cardigans. Again, best if it's sculpted. Fitted shoulders is very important for gamine. If it's not fitted, then best if it keeps a shape, is quite thick, knit, and if it's cropped. That will give you that structure back, even if you have drop shoulder. Better if it's not longer than the hips. If it's longer, then best if it's very narrow. You can also wear belt, but best if it's not creating that skirt. If it's already made with a narrow shape, then belt won't do much. You will still have this beautiful vertical line. And you know, even those 50s traditional cardigans sometimes might look nice on gamines. It just depends on what kind, how is it made, like is it cheap looking, or what is the color, if it fits you, if it's contrasted enough with your coloration and things like this. But basically, as a shape itself, it should look nice on you. The only don'ts for you basically would be just something too long, unconstructed, very wide, very slouchy with lowered shoulders. And of course something like this, too thin, unshaped, with those strange diagonals, 2000s style, that is not looking good on any body type in my viewpoint. Jackets or blazers. For gamines it's very important to have tailored, short, precise, and very sculpted. It can go to your waist, it can be straight, it's fine, but it should be cropped. If you still want to go for that regular jacket that is slightly longer, straight, that would look slightly oversized piece on you, which nowadays is fine. It's quite stylish, even if it looks slightly oversized, as if it's not from your wardrobe. Everything else should be extremely sleek inside, first of all. And second of all, I still feel like the length should not be lower than these hip bones. Not top hip bones, but I would say lower hip bones. If you still want to balance longer jacket, if you have it and you love it, you can go slightly high-waisted and have color blocks here, or normal waisted, not lowered waisted. Color blocks here, top one color, bottom different color, and then this blazer would be opened here. It already will create some balance between your torso and your legs proportionately. And then maybe you can help yourself with chunky heels or with some platforms or with thin heels. That will balance, of course, any elongated piece on you. Also, another type of jackets that doesn't look quite good on gamines is something flouncy, very girly, with peplum, with frills. It's just not for you. You look like a boy in mama's jacket, which I don't want to compare gamines with boys, but the bone structure is quite angular and straight, so this is why sometimes it can give that effect. Now let's go to coats. Sculpted and narrow coats are amazing for you, and best if it's not longer than the knee. Everything that is longer than the knee, it's normally dragging them down. Unless they wear some heels and some chunky platforms, that can actually lift them up a little bit and kind of soften that effect. It should be very compact, very tailored, with sharp shoulders, with fitted shoulders. You can go for belt. If you go without belt, best if it's very, very narrow, close to your body. If it's with waist, we don't want that bouffant effect. You know, sometimes they sell oversized coats, but then with belt, so you think it will make the outfit narrower. For you, it's not going to work like that, because if the coat from the beginning is wide, then with the belt you will create this H-shape effect. It will have some drapes on a skirt. You'd look like a doll. Huge bouffant dress, and you don't need this. So shoes for gamines, anything that you can think about would fit. Just it should be delicate, especially around the ankle. Everything that is sharp and tailored and sculpted and have sharp toe, sharp heel, all that looks great on gamines. Something extremely chunky can be slightly too heavy, and especially something that hides the ankle. There are some boots sometimes that are very wide around the ankle. That is a huge no-no for majority of the body types, actually. I can imagine a woman with extremely long legs and extremely thin legs is wearing that, but still, maybe for her that would look good, but why would you need that if there are so many beautiful shoes nowadays in the shops? Any kind of a scarf, if it's warmer temperature, you can go for silk scarf or cotton scarf. Something with pattern or contrasted color to your coloration would be great. That will freshen your look very much, especially if you go for everything monochromatic on the bottom or everything quite nude and beige on the bottom. Then something contrasted like navy blue or polka dot or even stripy scarf by your face will revive any of your outfits. Or if it's colder, you can get bigger scarf. If you're going for long scarf, better if it's not that big but slightly narrower, so you can wrap it around your neck but then it goes here, just more delicate on you. If we talk about hats and puffers, I have a separate video, winter style for the body types. All the body types are covered in one video. I'm gonna leave the link down below. And also I found amazing pieces for you today. I'm gonna leave the link down below in case you want to check. Also let me know in the comments, guys, where are you from, which country, which city, what kind of autumn you have. Like, is it super cold, is it super humid, or is it quite warm? So let me know, I'm very curious. I'm gonna read your comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.